Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the book that made me question everything. My spine, my courage, and my subscription to dragon insurance. This is Fourth Wing, a fantasy novel where the main character's mom looks at her sweet little introverted daughter and says, "Sweetie, I love you so much, I'm sending you to dragon boot camp. Don't die!" This book has war college energy, YA romance on steroids, and more ripped cadets than a Marvel casting call. I picked it up thinking, oh, dragons? Cool. By page 3, I was like, why is this Hogwarts but everyone wants to kill each other and there's CrossFit? Also, why are there so many abs? Like, so many abs. This isn't a fantasy book. This is a protein shake with plenty. Meet Violet. Our hero, tiny, breakable, probably allergic to danger, wants to be a scribe, ends up in a college where the syllabus includes falling off high ledges, getting roasted by dragons, and trying not to get murdered before breakfast. Let's dive in. Part 1. The Scribe Who Got Drafted into Mortal Kombat, Dragon Edition. So here's Violet Sorrengail. She's 20, fragile as IKEA furniture, and all she ever wanted in life was to chill in the scribe quadrant, copy scrolls, and drink tea like it's a personality trait. But guess what? Her mom, General Lilith Sorrengail, pulls a reverse career day and is like, "Surprise, Violet! No scribing for you. You're going to the Riders Quadrant to bond with dragons and possibly die horribly. You're welcome." Classic mom move. Other moms? Eat your veggies. Lilith, leap off a cliff and try not to get incinerated. You see, in Basgiath War College, the military Hogwarts of this world, there are 4 quadrants. Riders, people who ride dragons and explode gloriously. Healers, people who patch up what's left. Scribes, nerds, Violet's dream job. Infantry, cannon fodder, and if you're not a rider, you're a side character. So Violet's forced to join the Riders, even though she's got connective tissue disease, brittle bones, and 0 upper body strength. Basically, she's built like a porcelain doll in a world of MMA fighters. Her older sister Mira, already a decorated rider, is like, just survive the first year, don't die, oh, and trust no one. Real comforting, thanks, sis. So Violet shows up to the college with a body that creaks like a haunted house, boots 2 sizes too big, a brain full of book facts and 0 combat skills. And let's talk about day 1. The Welcome to War College event is literally just crossing a high beam over a canyon. No harness, no safety net, just you, your fear of heights and gravity laughing in your face. And guess what? Violet makes it. Barely. With a dislocated shoulder and enough adrenaline to fuel a small helicopter. Meanwhile, cadets are literally falling to their deaths around her like it's a TikTok challenge gone wrong. Then comes the housing situation. No dorm buddies here. You sleep in open barracks where murder is optional, but heavily encouraged. Oh, and meet Xaden Riorson, wing leader, brooding, deadly, tattooed, son of the man her mother executed and assigned to supervise Violet's squad. Fun. He's like, "You shouldn't be here." And she's like, "Yeah, tell that to my mother." Cruella de Command. And we also meet Dane Atos, her childhood friend, now squad leader, constantly panicking that Violet might snap like a glow stick. Imogen, a cool upperclassman who may or may not be silently judging everyone, and a dozen other cadets who are either future corpses or future love triangle options. Violet's first day ends with 1 dislocated shoulder, a dozen new enemies, and a firm understanding that this is not the scribe life anymore. Part 2, The Gauntlet, basically Ninja Warrior, but with more blood. All right, Violet survived the let's see who falls off a beam and dies orientation. Next up, The Gauntlet. Now, when you hear The Gauntlet, you might think of a fun obstacle course, right? Wrong. At Basgiath, the Gauntlet is like, hey, let's take medieval torture, cross it with CrossFit, and sprinkle in the possibility of sudden death. Basically, it's a vertical death trap filled with spinning beams, swinging platforms, and a rope climb that says if you fall, enjoy your funeral. And Violet? Still built like a broken flute. Before this, her biggest challenge was probably lifting a stack of scrolls. Now she's climbing stuff that looks like it was designed by a sadistic jungle gym architect with a grudge against bookworms. But she trains, hard and secretly, because the rest of the cadets, they'd love to see her fall, especially those loyal to Xaden's Rebellion Dad Fan Club, a.k.a. kids of the executed rebels. Oh, and Dane? Remember him? Mr. Overprotective Childhood Friend. He's like, you shouldn't even try the gauntlet. Just ask to switch back to scribes. Please, you might die. And Violet's like, so might literally everyone here, Dane. This is war college, not summer camp. So she practices at night, alone, quietly, because if anyone sees her training, they'll sabotage her faster than a dragon in a mood swing. And then the day of the gauntlet arrives. It's go time! One try, no second chances. You fall as you fail, you die or get transferred out in shame. And guess what? Violet nails it. Not smoothly, not quickly, but she completes it. The crowd is shook. Even the dragons are probably like, damn, little twig got hands. She used agility, brain power, and sheer refusal to die out of spite. She basically mentally maths her way across the death beams, like some nerdy adrenaline-fueled, physics-defying squirrel. And when she lands at the end, broken, bruised, and bleeding, Xaden is watching. His face says, well, crap, she's still alive. And Violet, she's like, I'm still not dead. Suck it, destiny. But then, plot twist, General Sorrengail shows up. She looks at her daughter, clearly half dead, and gives her the emotional equivalent of a thumbs up made of steel. You survived. Good. That's all that matters. Thanks, Mom. I love our little bonding moments. Part 3. Thorns, Lightning, and Dragon Draft Day. All right. Violet's made it through the gauntlet. Her bones are intact enough, her enemies are confused, and her mom still hasn't smiled. You'd think the worst is over? Ha-ha! No. Welcome to Thresher Day, a.k.a. Dragon Draft Day, a.k.a. Please don't get set on fire in front of your crush. This is the day where dragons come down from their elite, flame-resistant hills and choose which students get to ride them. Or more accurately, I like your vibe, hop on. Or I hate your aura, incineration noises. No one can force a bond. You either get picked or you become toast. Literally. Barbecue, dragon-flavored ashes. Now let's back up. A few days earlier, Violet gets paired with a group to do patrols outside the college. Just a chill walk through the Vale. Totally casual, except for the part where a venin attacks them. What's a venin? Oh, just some dark magic forest creep that eats energy and really ruins your lunch break. And Violet, despite her small size and I'm just here to scribe attitude, helps kill the thing using cleverness and a sword. Shocking everyone. Even Xaden. Now this venin attack isn't supposed to happen. Outside threats are rare, but it does, and Violet's survival becomes dragon gossip material. So back to Thresher Day. Everyone's on the field, standing like nervous Hunger Games contestants waiting to get picked by an angry fire-breathing cat. Most people are bonding with standard dragons. Cool ones, sure, but nothing legendary. Violet? She just wants to not die. That's the bar. Then boom, a rare massive black dragon lands. Cue dramatic wind, slow-motion hair flips, the music from Inception. This is Taern. Ancient, terrifying, elite-tier dragon, the kind of creature that usually bonds with war heroes, not bendy girls who used to journal their dreams. But guess what? He chooses her. Taern chooses Violet. Everyone gasps. Someone probably drops their protein shake. Oh, and not just Taern. She also bonds with Andana, a baby golden dragon with sleepy eyes and Disney sidekick energy. Double the bond. That's unheard of. It's like being drafted by the NFL and cast in a Marvel movie in the same hour. And of course, dragon bonding comes with perks. Magic, telepathic snark with your dragon. And glowing marks on your back that say, congrats, you're now a magical nuke. But also, a lot of enemies. Because bonding with a commander-class beast means Violet's no longer just that fragile girl. Now she's a threat, a target, and the most unlikely rising star in the Riders Quadrant. Even Xaden, the permanently frowning hot guy, starts paying more attention, which is cute and terrifying. Because this girl's about to become very powerful, very fast. And she still hasn't figured out how to put on her armor without assistance. Part 4 of Lightning and Lies, Violet gets zappy. So Violet just bonded with Taern, the dragon equivalent of Zeus with wings and zero patience, and sweet little baby Andana, who naps like a kitten but might accidentally time freeze people when she sneezes. Now she's got telepathic dragon chats in her head, a magic lightning power she can't control, and enough enemies to start a rival college. Oh, and did I mention? She starts zapping things. Because that's the sign her magic's kicking in, her signet power, granted through her bond with Taern. And since Taern is the oldest, grumpiest, most alpha dragon in the skies, Violet doesn't just get any power, she gets lightning. Yep, the literal weather in her hands. First time it happens, she short-circuits the sparring ring and nearly kills a guy, and she's like, oops, sorry, still learning. And Tairn in her head is like, control it or burn. Thanks, Dad. But wait, drama? Oh, yeah. There's more. Violet starts noticing stuff, weird stuff, like how the Venan attack wasn't reported, like how the leadership is hiding information, like how Xaden and the other marked kids, children of executed rebels, are definitely up to something. Meanwhile, Dane, her childhood bestie and full-time mother hen, is losing it. He's watching Violet bond with dragons, shoot lightning, flirt with the son of a rebel leader, and survive knife fights like it's cardio. And he's like, "You've changed." "Yeah. I used to cry over paper cuts, and now I shoot weather from my hands." "Growth? Tension?" Cranked to 100. Oh, and the worst part? Dane can read memories with a touch. And Violet's like, "Wait, have you been doing that without asking?" He's like, maybe, but it's for your safety." "Dane!" "My guy, you don't go full FBI on your friend's brains and call it love." Meanwhile, Xaden is not being helpful either. He's training Violet, yes, but also taunting her, saving her life and standing way too close while saying things like, "You're stronger than you think," while looking like a shirtless Greek statue dipped in angst, and Violet's brain is like, trust no one. Her hormones, but six-pack. Anyway, she's stuck in this pressure cooker where half the school wants her dead. The other half wants to use her. Her dragons are yelling in her brain, and she accidentally deep-fries benches when she sneezes. And yet, she's still standing. Still learning, still surviving, still delivering sarcasm like it's her personal brand. Part 5. The Battle Brief and the Bedroom Eyes. All right, buckle up. Violet's been zapped by her own lightning, gaslit by the entire war college, read like a diary by Dane, and now she's suspicious of literally everyone except maybe her dragons. But guess what's next on the class schedule? Battle Brief, which is not a cool name for armored underwear, but actually a very serious strategy class where professors teach students how to not die in war. The catch? Professor Markham is the definition of, I will ruin you emotionally and academically. He uses brutal historical scenarios, real combat failures, and trick questions that make law school look like nap time. Violet, she starts crushing it. Because while everyone else flexes their biceps, Violet flexes her brain. She starts noticing patterns no one else does. Strategy, weaknesses, traps. And Professor Markham, who was fully expecting her to fail like a soggy tortilla, goes, "Interesting, you may not be entirely useless." High praise at Basquiat. Meanwhile, oh yes, Xaden Riorson is still around, still broody, still covered in shadows and trauma, still acting like he's not falling headfirst into I will murder the world for this girl territory. Let's talk about the sparring sessions. Violet is supposed to be learning how to fight. Instead, she's dodging swords and heart palpitations. Because every time Xaden gets within 6 feet of her, the air thickens, the background music swells, and Violet's inner monologue turns into a full-blown romance audiobook. Example, Xaden, you need to stop hesitating. Violet, is he talking about combat or kissing me? Also, there's a scene where he heals her wounds by gently touching her spine markings, the ones tied to her dragon bond, and it's like this is either therapy or foreplay, and I'm confused. Even Andana, her baby dragon, is like, are you two gonna mate or what? Yes, dragons in this world fully narrate the tension. It's canon. But Violet still doesn't know if she can trust him. After all, his dad was a rebel. He's hiding something. She just doesn't know what. Then comes the feathers incident. In a playful moment, which is rare in this murder college, Violet uses her lightning powers to mess with Xaden during sparring. He responds by lifting her in the air with shadow magic, growling something intense and storming out like a Victorian vampire who's just discovered emotions. Reader, that's flirting, war college style. But it's not all glances and glutes. People are still dying. Cadets go missing, unexplained attacks, and Violet starts realizing that the school is not the safe fortress it claims to be. Something is deeply wrong. And while Dane is still busy reading minds and making bad decisions, Xaden is out here saving Violet's life in ways that say, I care about you, but also I'm emotionally unavailable and possibly plotting a rebellion. Perfect boyfriend material. Part 6. Secrets, Shadows, and the Truth Bomb from Hell. So by now, Violet's basically got a PhD in not dying, pretending she's not falling for the broody guy, and quietly realizing this school is one political cover-up away from being a Netflix true crime docuseries. Let's connect the conspiracy dots, shall we? 1. The Venene attack? Still not officially acknowledged. Everyone's acting like, oh, it was probably just wind. Yeah, wind that bleeds and eats magical energy. Cool story, General Mom. 2. Zayden's group of marked kids, aka children of executed rebels, they disappear at night. They've got secret tattoos, and they look way too coordinated for casual hangouts. 3. Violet's signet power is growing, but she still can't fully control it unless she's emotionally compromised, aka flirting with death or with Zayden, whichever comes first. Now, here's the twist. Violet starts to suspect the real war isn't what the school says it is. The official story. The Kingdom of Navarre is fighting enemy nations. Everything outside the ward's danger zone. Stay inside, be good little soldiers. But Violet finds maps, real ones, that show fortified rebel areas within Navarre. Not enemies, not foreigners, citizens, being bombed by their own government. So she's like, wait, are we the baddies? Cue existential crisis. And you know who confirms it? Zayden. Yep. Shadow Daddy himself finally spills the beans. Yeah, the rebellion? My dad wasn't wrong. The government's been hiding the truth. The real enemy is the Venene, those creepy dark magic dudes, and the wards that protect us, they're failing. Violet, you lied to me. Technically, I just didn't tell you things, while shirtless, frequently. Turns out the rebellion was trying to warn the kingdom, and General Sorrengail, Violet's own mom, helped silence them, publicly, which means everything Violet believed was dragon poop. And she's mad? But she's also conflicted, because Zayden's not evil. He's actually doing the right thing, secretly, and he never tried to hurt her. In fact, he spent the entire semester keeping her alive while she stumbled around campus like a baby goat with lightning hands. So what now? Well, Zayden asks her to join the real fight, to stop blindly following orders and start thinking for herself. And Violet? She doesn't scream, doesn't run, she just stands there, lightning crackling at her fingertips, dragons murmuring in her head like a magical group chat, and says, "Tell me everything!" Part 7. War Games and Heart Games. Violet goes full Dragon Queen. All right, folks, final round. Violet now knows the kingdom is lying, the wards that protect everyone from the Venene, cracking. The rebels were right. Her mom's kind of a war criminal, and the hot guy she's falling for is part of a secret resistance, and somehow still single. So what's a tiny lightning gremlin to do? That's right! Survive the squad battle trials. Because the school decides the best way to wrap up the semester is a casual little thing called, let's throw squads of students into an arena and have them fight magical beasts while also trying to kill each other. It's like the Hunger Games met Mario Kart and said, let's crank the trauma to 11. Violet's squad, now semi-unified despite all previous murder attempts, enters the field. They're immediately attacked by wyverns. Mutated, mindless dragon cousins that scream like banshees and chomp like they're at a barbecue. But that's not the real problem. The Venene are here. Yep. Real ones, in the flesh, magic-sucking, soul-eating, ultimate evil-style Venene. And the professors? The commandant? Nowhere. Because guess what? They didn't know the Venene had breached the wards. Because they refused to believe it was possible. So Violet and the squad? They're on their own. And this is where it goes from fun dragon book to holy mother of fireballs. Zayden unleashes his shadows, Violet unleashes her lightning, the dragons go full kaiju mode, and Dana stops time again. Taeyeon's blasting everything in sight like a scaly Death Star. And Violet, she's fighting like she's finally become the person everyone said she couldn't be. The frail girl? The weak one? The go back to the scribe quadrant girl? She's the one holding the line. She kills. She saves. She leads. She even zaps a Venene mid-air like a flying toaster. But in the chaos, someone gets hurt. Bad. Violet. She takes a near-fatal hit while protecting her squad, because of course she does, because this is what heroes do. Zayden carries her out of the battlefield, bleeding, broken, but alive. They escape on Dragonback, and when she wakes up, cliffhanger. She's in a rebel stronghold. Not the college, not the kingdom, surrounded by people who were supposed to be the enemy, but might just be the only ones fighting the real war. And that's how the book ends. No joke. Right there, injured, betrayed, awakened, and suddenly realizing, Crap, I joined the rebellion by accident. Sure, here's the text you provided, word for word. So what have we learned? If your mom forces you into dragon school, trust no one. Hot guys with tragic backstories are legally required to have magical tattoos and moral complexity. Never underestimate the girl with weak ankles and a strong mind. And if your dragon starts talking, listen, they're smarter than your ex. Also, I would like a dragon now. Preferably one that can help me avoid emotional conversations and clean my room with fire. If you liked this chaotic journey through PTSD, plot twists and pixelated abs, smash that subscribe button like Violet smashes her enemies with lightning. Next week on Timmy Stand-Up Book Club, either we read a romance novel about pirates with feelings, or I go full conspiracy theorist on why elves always have cheekbones. Drop your pick in the comments. Until then, stay safe, stay sarcastic, and if you hear wings flapping, duck!